Welcome to Project U 2.2, where my goal is to help you break barriers and step confidently into an elevated version of yourself. This podcast drives into mindset, growth, and creating the life you were meant to live. I'm Carrie, a former teacher turned leadership and growth mentor, helping people overcome self-doubt and embrace their next chapter. I believe you are your greatest project. Each week, we'll explore the habits, stories, and strategies that help you break barriers, step into your potential, and level up your life. Let's get started. Today, we're diving into a simple and powerful lesson. Big change doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from tiny, consistent steps that I like to call micro wins. So often, we set big, massive goals for ourselves. Maybe we want to lose 50 pounds or more, change careers, get out of debt, start a business. Whatever that big goal is that we set, we expect ourselves to go from 0 to hero overnight. We want those fast results. And then, when we don't make it, we feel like we failed. The truth about this is that success is built in those small daily choices that we make, that those micro wins add up to a big win. Let's talk about the power of those micro wins. Think about it like this. You don't climb a mountain in one big jump. You take it step by step, and every step counts that gets you there. If you've ever climbed a sand dune at Lake Michigan, you know how exhausting that can be. And so as you're running up that hill, sometimes you have to break it down into smaller steps. For me, I like to say, okay, I'm going to count to 22. And so I take 22 steps and then I start over and I'm going to take 22 more to just help me get there. Micro wins are about momentum. They are proof to yourself that you can do it. And it might sound crazy that you have to prove something to yourself, but we do. We have so many negative thoughts that get discouraging, and we have imposter syndrome setting in. We are capable of following through, and when you stack enough of those small wins, you build confidence, resilience, and the energy to keep going. When I was a teacher in the classroom, I tried to be mindful of my students' time. As a mom, I hated when my boys would come home and have hours of homework. After spending all day at school, going to practices, and sometimes working part-time jobs, the last thing I wanted was for them to sit at the counter late into the night with more schoolwork. I wanted to eat dinner with them, talk to them, go for a walk, play a game, just be together, to connect with them. Here's another example of a micro win that had a huge impact in my life. My relationship with my boys. Some of my favorite moments with them were in the evenings, winding down at the end of the day. Even when they were in high school, and honestly, even when they're adults now, I still sometimes do it. There's something about those quiet one-on-one moments when the world slows down that really opens the door for connection. And they just talk to you more. Sometimes when they were younger, I would read to them, ask them about their day, or we would just sit and talk while I gave them a little shoulder rub or played with their hair. And it was in those simple moments that they would open up and share things that they might not have in the middle of the busyness of their day. Our nighttime routines were so special. It wasn't about doing anything big. It was about just being fully present with them, without any distractions for either of us. That's what built trust, connection, and some of the best memories that I will carry with me forever. It's a small thing, and it just takes a few minutes each evening, but it made a difference. That's the power of micro wins. Small, intentional actions that may seem minor at the time, but over time, they create a life that feels connected, joyful, and just gives your life more meaning. Understanding how important family time is helped me carry this through with my teaching practices. So in my classroom, I gave my students time to work during class, and my goal was for them to finish assignments before the bell rang. It didn't always happen, but it was my practice. And here's the thing. I expected 100% from all of them on every assignment. Not because I was a perfectionist, but because I wanted them to master the material. They could revise and redo it until they got it, but I knew that small, consistent effort, not cramming at the last minute, is what really creates growth and real learning. Once in a while, I'd notice a student zoning out, just telling me that they would just save it all for later. They wanted to wait until they got home to do it. And maybe they would just want to sit in class and play a game on their computer or just stare off. Sometimes I'd even see them sneaking their phones out and using their devices. And this was my job to step in, gently but firmly, because here's what I know. The longer we put things off, the harder it gets to come back to them, even with the best of intentions. Life is the same way. Waiting until later feels easier in the moment. What are you putting off right now that you think, I'll start tomorrow or I'll start Monday? But it often just makes the hill steeper to climb. Maybe this is where you are right now. Maybe you're stuck in your life. Started with back pain, but now it feels like it defines you. You've lost your energy, your motivation, and you wonder where your spark went. Maybe you've gained weight after a pregnancy or some hormonal changes. You've tried to lose it before. Now you feel helpless and hopeless. Or maybe you're working in a job that drains you and every day feels like a Monday and you're just in a rut. Perhaps you've been dreaming of doing something, dreaming of making a change. And it doesn't have to be a huge leap like starting a business or writing a book or running a race. Maybe it's something smaller like walking a mile every day, cooking one healthy meal this week, or maybe connecting with a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Those micro wins are the first step toward building momentum and getting you to feel like yourself again. But fear keeps stopping you. Maybe it's even deeper for you. Maybe you find yourself feeling down or depressed. You don't leave the house much, you don't get out to do anything, and it's easier now than ever. You don't even have to go grocery shopping. You can order food and have it dropped right at your door. That convenience feels so good in the moment, but slowly, it's keeping you stuck in isolation. Maybe you're trying to lose weight so you can have a surgery that you need for your health, but the weight feels impossible to lose and you're overwhelmed before you even begin. Or maybe you've thought about signing up for a class, something fun, something new, but it just feels too overwhelming. Where would you start? What if you fail? So you just keep putting it off. If that's you, I want you to know that you are not broken. You're human. And the way out doesn't start with a huge, impossible leap. It starts with one micro win. For you, this might mean getting up and moving more each day, drinking more water consistently, improving sleep by just setting a small bedtime routine, or cooking a healthy meal at home instead of grabbing takeout, organizing a space in your home that's been cluttered, reaching out to connect with a family or a friend, practicing a small self-care habit each day, maybe some meditation, journaling, reading for 10 minutes, or starting a savings habit, even if it's just $5 or $10 a week, or committing to a few minutes of stretching or movement every morning, learning a small skill or hobby like drawing, knitting, learning on a language app. Don't set out to run a 5K if you aren't exercising yet. That could be your long goal, but start by walking around the block, or even just committing to 1 mile, or take steps to get to 1 mile. Don't put pressure on yourself to do a full grocery shop if leaving the house feels like it's too much and you get overwhelmed. For you, start by just walking into the store and spend 10 minutes walking around. You don't even have to buy anything, but it is fun to buy stuff. Don't, don't sign up for a full semester of classes right now. Maybe your micro win is picking up a brochure, spending 15 minutes looking online at what's offered. It's not about doing everything today. It's about doing something today, something small, something that tells your brain, I can do this, I can move forward, because you can. It's time for some practical application for your life. I want to give you a challenge or a homework assignment right now. Choose one micro win for today, not for tomorrow, not for Monday, but for today. Just one. Write it down, commit to it, and then do it. Don't go to bed until you do it. Don't try to pick a big audacious goal right now. That can come later. The point is to just get moving, to build momentum, and to feel that small sense of accomplishment. If you overwhelm yourself, it is easy to quit before you even start. And then tomorrow, I want you to choose another micro win, or build on the one that you complete today. Maybe walk a little further. Add an extra healthy habit, or take one more small action toward your goal. Keep stacking those wins because momentum grows when you celebrate those small victories. Think about an Olympian. They didn't become an Olympian overnight. They didn't wake up one day magically able to swim, bike, or run at world-class speed. They started with the basics. Small, consistent practices every single day. They built skill, stamina, and confidence one step at a time. The same is true for writers, entrepreneurs, musicians, or anyone who has achieved something meaningful. They weren't born more special than me or than you. They just showed up consistently, even when it was hard, even when there were obstacles, even when it felt small or pointless. And that's exactly what I want you to do today. Pick one small step, a micro win, and take it. No overthinking. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Because every big change begins with that first step, and your momentum is starting today. You are capable. You are ready. Today is your day to prove it to yourself, not anyone else. Over time, you'll notice something amazing. Not only are you making progress, but you'll start to believe in yourself again, and that belief, that's the fuel for big change. Micro wins are going to feel small, but they are the foundation of transformation. Remember that your next chapter isn't written in one giant leap. It is written in the small daily choices that add up to a life that you love. As you move from your 1.0 version of yourself and level up to the 2.0 version, and then to that 2.2 version of you. I want to leave you with a little gift today. Go claim your micro win. Pick one small step that feels doable for you and commit to it. Remember, it doesn't have to be huge. In fact, I don't want it to be huge. And I don't want it to be perfect. Go for that short walk. Send a message to connect with someone. Or maybe stand up and take 5 deep breaths just to reset your day. Listening to stories is wonderful, and inspiration can spark change. But this just isn't a story. It's a lesson that we can all use. Life is about growth. It's about continuously leveling up. We should never stop leveling up, moving from version 1.0 to 2.0 and then 2.2 and beyond. It's about peeling back the layers of who we thought we were so we can step into who we are meant to become. And every micro win, every small habit we build is part of that evolution. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress, and every step forward, no matter how small, is going to take you closer to that next version of yourself. And the only way to create movement, to build some momentum, to start shifting your life in a direction that feels joyful and aligned, is to act. Don't wait. Don't save it for later. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you're going to start tomorrow or next week Or like my students sometimes said when they get home, remember, Olympians don't become champions overnight. Writers, entrepreneurs, athletes, they weren't born more special than you. They started small and they built habit after habit, day after day, and your big breakthroughs begin with those tiny, intentional actions. So stand up, take that step, claim your micro win today, and then tomorrow, do it again. Stack another small win and build some momentum. Celebrate your progress, because when you commit to the small steps consistently, trust me, you'll be amazed at how far you can go and how unstoppable you become. You have everything you need to start. The time is now. Thank you for listening to Project U 2.2. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who needs some encouragement. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, remember, you are capable of more than you think. And send me a message. I would love to celebrate your micro win. Thank you for tuning in to Project U 2.2. You are your greatest project, and every step you take brings you closer to an elevated version of yourself. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it, subscribe, and leave a review so we can inspire even more people. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, break through your barriers, and step boldly into your next chapter.